I think I gotta make another warning to anybody that wants to listen to any of my videos. Warning, this is probably gonna piss you off. Um, I watched some videos because I thought, okay, apparently I'm pissing a few people off that are Jack Layton's, crew. um, Apparently he's really a hero to most people. Sorry, I'm biased. I look at the man for how he was helping me out when I needed his help. And frankly, out of all of the politicians that were in power while I was screaming for help, he was the only one that wanted to sue me. He was the only one that wanted me to keep my mouth shut about something. Um, why would anybody threaten to sue about an opinion? Can you not handle a conversation? Like other politicians thought I was just a small guy with a small mouth that nobody would ever listen to, so they didn't give a shit what I was saying. But Jack did. He did not want my views spoken at all. And it's like, you know what? If the guy helped me out, I'd be saying great things. But the guy wasn't very helpful, and then threatened to sue me when I called him on his shit. Because it's like, either you're helping or you're supporting. Pick a side, Jack. And he picked a side. So I called him on the side he picked. It's not my fault. I'm just speaking the truth. But apparently, a lot of people don't like the truth. Talking about some rant theories, and a lot of those people don't like hearing the truth there either. And one other comment was made that objectivism always wins, and it's like, you're kind of insane if you even think being objective it is something that you're humanly capable of doing. It's like the web bot that you think this guy objectively could look and predict the future from the web bot, the data that was coming out. No, he's looking at the data and he's going to review it from a biased mind. He can't objectively look at it. And I do believe I made a video on, now my bird's got to get a few words in. Um, the guy that does the webbot openly admitted that the brain is biased. So um, he tries. What did he say? I'm trying to remember something to the effect that um, he believes that we are all biased, so he's going to try and believe in nothing. So it's like, if you believe we're biased, then you have a belief. It was something to that effect, that he contradicted himself right away, that as soon as he's seen that he was biased, he's going to be biased while he looks at it. Basically, it was like, well, there's insanity. And look at the word insanity, because I use that word a lot. Look at it in the dictionary. That means doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. It's not able to use your logical mind to actually solve a problem. Um, so this guy that, or person that ended up posting and saying objectivism always wins, is like, you're a fool if you think that you're ever looking at anything from an objective perspective. You're always looking at it from a biased perspective. And it's like, even I know that. I have a very strong opinion. I've objectively looked at my particular challenge that I've dealt with, and objectively looked at my opponent's side to see what I assume is going on with him. And I think I'm pretty correct. But I'm a fool if I think I am correct, because I'm biased. So there seems to be some kind of rule that helps guide you towards what is truth. You need kind of a little guide that says this is the right and this is wrong. Right now we have no guide. I personally think it's health. If we're doing the right thing, then we're a lot healthier. If we're doing the wrong thing, it'll cause stress, it'll cause cancer. All diseases, all illnesses have a cause. So it's only natural that if all of the causes were actually good causes, we'd be living longer. Our health would improve. So it's not rocket science that good health, emotional, physical, financial, every type of good health is sort of the guide of, yeah, this is the right thing or the wrong thing to do. Um, but when I look at something like solve the problem for me, and I say, okay, would that be good for my enemy? And I jump into his skin and, try to see, okay, if the solution works for me, would it actually work for him? I'm still biased. You can't run away from it. As objective as it looks, it ain't. And you're kind of insane if you think you are. So it is a matter of, you have strong opinions, but in order to find out whether your opinion is right or wrong means you have to openly communicate with your enemy and hear the other side. Everybody's got an opinion. And everybody's got a right to say what their opinion is. If you don't like someone's opinion, maybe find out why. You probably get educated when you find out the causes that make somebody believe in something. And then if you actually look at what people believe and question it and see what's your result that you want and is it actually accomplishing that. I don't see too many people doing that. So objectivism will never ever win, because that's the time you say, I have no ego. I can be completely biased, unbiased, while you're human, and to be human is biased. You either look at the glass half full or half empty. You look at things as negative or positive. Like, you cannot jump out of your skin and think you're not human. To be human is your bias, which brings to the absolute truth that when you go into a justice system, there's no damn way a judge can objectively tell whether you're innocent or guilty. He's biased. Every judge is biased. While he goes to school and the sociology courses will tell him he's objective. And it's like, it's impossible. You're a judge, so you're going to judge from your biased perspective. Chances are, if you're wealthy, you're going to base all your decisions, so the wealthy guy usually wins. The poor guy will generally always lose. And then when you get out, guilty, and the public will believe there was a just decision and that guy was guilty because the judge told him it was guilty. And it's like, that isn't true. Just because a judge makes a decision doesn't mean it's the right decision. Chances are he's more wrong than he is right, based on his bias. And since all of our economic, all of our corporate, every single system, you can't do it without a legal system. It's got to be legal before you can do it. So our morals are designing our laws, and if you have no morals, then your laws have no morals. And let's get to the end of this, of whether something is true or not. As long as I have paid my deadbeat child support while the child lived with me, and that was court ordered, how come a court cannot tell where children live and make orders that coincide with what the laws are? Because the laws in Canada state that the parent the children live with collect child support. But, judges here in Canada believe that the parent that has the kids, that has to deal with an awful lot of abuse and work full-time and deal with children that need a parent more than ever because of all of the hell that they're living through, actually has to be the one that pays the deadbeat who actually, works in an oil field, makes lots of money. They all know where he is. He ain't hiding nowhere. It's not like he ain't earning a living that they can't garnish his wages and make him responsible and accountable. He doesn't have to be responsible and accountable because a judge says you don't have to be responsible for your children legally. So don't be telling me that a judge is not biased, because, at the end of the day, there's no friggin' way in hell that you can get justice in any court in Canada. And it's like, oh, you could always appeal. It's like, okay, if I tried to fix that for over 10 years, tried to really get a judge to see where children live and when, provide all of the evidence, if I really did that, and couldn't do it, eventually you realize it can't be done because the system doesn't function. I kind of lost my mind. So at the end of the day, people that are like supporting Jack Layton and everything he stood for, it's like you really, really want a welfare system. You want to go to work and pay your taxes so that every victim of every crime that Jack Layton doesn't, want to stop, that he just thinks is a good thing, it's being paid off your taxes. Because, you beat somebody long and hard enough, they tend to get disabled. And then you're paying for them to live. So at the end of the day, it's like, I think it's a wrong thing to do. I think we should fix all of the crime in the country. And you can't do that with this current justice system. It's flawed. We all know there's not a perfect system. So if it's not a perfect system, why not make it? And it's very easy. It's a very, very easy thing to fix every flaw in every system. But where's a politician that wants it? Anybody that's a fan of this Jack Layton and you want to say that, oh, there's a crazy lady? Well, let's sit down and let's talk about how do you fix a justice system. Let's admit or come to an agreement. Is it flawed? Does it always, always know for sure, without a doubt, right or wrong? Or has it ever made a mistake? If it ever has made a mistake even once, then it's flawed. If it's flawed, then it needs to be fixed. So if you're so educated to tell me that I'm not educated to know something, then let's hear your idea of how to fix it. Because I think now is the time for change. So if you got a good idea, I'd love to know about it. Because I've got some ideas. I don't come complaining without offering a solution. So it's a matter of, are you ready to hear what you're not ready to hear yet? Because there are solutions to every problem. Every single problem is nothing more than a solution waiting to unfold. But you gotta actually want the solution. And you know what? If we actually had that mindset that, oh, okay, let's profit off the solutions. Instead of betting on everything going wrong, why not bet on everything going right? Because if we actually did, you know what? You'd love your life, and so would your enemy. You'd have nothing to fight about, because you're too busy loving your life. So it's like a win-win, but it seems like nobody wants that win-win. You want to only be the one that's the winner. I think you're right, from your biased mind. It's insane, but there's no way in hell that, to be human is to be biased. And to not acknowledge that means you're insane, and your brain will not function correctly. Suck it up. Peace out.